Hello, adventurers. My name is Maximus, and I'll be your dungeon master for the evening. I'd like to welcome you all to the 52nd episode of Campaign 2 of Caches and Cantrips, where some of your favorite streamers play Dungeons and Dragons live on Friday nights. I'm joined by our wonderful cast of Bunny Dreadful, Mac and Cheese Please, Nina Nikolic, Virtual Spectre, and Moobs Like Jagger from the GGN crew. The band's back together. Everyone's here.
Band's back together.
Woo!
Hopefully you all watching or listening are having a fantastic evening or day or morning or wherever you're listening or whenever you're listening from. And I don't know. I feel like it's going to be a good D&D session. You're looking at me all weird. You're like, what is he going to say? Fun was like looking at me like, what is he going to say?
Oh no, that just doesn't sound like you. And I'm like, oh no, we're going to die tonight. I can tell.
A good day for a TPK, you know?
I did.
I'll also
I did wear
warn
my
y'all,
death
he
shirt,
was like
so.
really upset when I tried to go in his office earlier. So whatever he was planning, he did not want me to see.
Oh, spicy.
But to be fair, that's every week.
She knows the rules and she's like, I won't look. And then she walks in and the first thing she does is look.
Look, I just want to take a nap on that couch. Do y'all see it? All I want to do is nap on that couch. And someone won't let me on Fridays.
Wow, Max, that's so rude.
I did. What she's not saying is I did let her nap for like 2 hours. So
It was 2 hours.
You had
yeah.
to keep your eyes on her so she wouldn't peek.
Yeah.
Pizza was keeping his eyes on me. It was fine.
Anyway.
Two eyes.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks everybody for watching us. And if you haven't yet, go check out our YouTube, which we're live on right now, youtube.com/@castersandcantrips, where we also have our other videos that you can't find anywhere else, like our Out of Combat, where we talk about the episode after the episode. Where
Yeah,
we
get FOMO.
Yeah, get
Go
it.
watch it.
Where we talk about all the secrets and spill all the tea.
Honestly,
have been
though,
some
a
secrets.
lot of tea gets spilled on the after show.
Like a surprising amount, actually.
Like a lot. So that's that's what you got to watch.
Mm-hmm. That is for sure. And if you are here, but you can't always be here, that's okay, because we also have a podcast. And you can find them everywhere that podcasts are sold. Just go look for Caches and Cantrips. And go listen to our episodes, Out of Combat. We also have a Monday show that's called Tome of Knowledge, where we talk about new and upcoming things in D&D, things in the space. And at the moment, we're going through the new 2024 version of the Player's Handbook. I believe last week was Sorcerers.
It was, yes, indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Special guest Zeus, who joined us.
Mm-hmm. Who has oodles of D&D knowledge, barrels full of it.
Not just D&D. That man plays tabletop games.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that's an understatement.
Yes. I learned a lot from that gentleman, among others. But aside from that, if you want early access to everything I just talked about, go check out our Patreon, which is patreon.com/caches and cantrips, where you can get early access to it. And there are a couple tiers on there, one of which, well, you can create an NPC in my little D&D world, and you can force these players to encounter them. So that's always a good time. But last and certainly not least, if you want to come hang out with us, talk about fun stuff, get some really banging music recommendations, by the way, in our music channel, go to our Discord, discord.gg/casters and cantrips. I think the music channel is my favorite channel in that, because we got some community members that will drop all sorts of fun stuff that I like to listen to.
Mine's the recipe channel because we always talk about food.
Yeah.
That's also my favorite in the GGN channel. So you should also go there and talk about cheeseburgers.
I had
now I
a
want one.
delicious bratwurst today.
Oh,
And
That
I
sounds
was
so good.
I was thrown off because it has melted Swiss cheese and Thousand Island. I was like, that's not gonna work. And then I ate it and it totally worked. But delicious.
Oh,
Look at
Yeah.
that. Look at that.
I want that.
Ooh.
I'll post that in the food channel right now.
Yeah, post that. I want to look at it.
I don't know why it's called Thousand Island dressing.
Because they take 1,000 islands and they grind them up.
They crush it up into some,
they
some
take
pure unfiltered island sauce.
A drop of water dew from every island and put it together.
Guys, I googled it. Thousand Island dressing is named after the Thousand Islands region in New York and Canada, where it originated in the early 20th century.
I would like to subscribe to Island Facts.
I want to subscribe to Mac Facts, and I just want Mac to send me random facts.
Mac Facts.
Yeah, Mac Facts. It's just like, it'd be perfect. There'd always be something interesting. That's all I know.
Every day.
This fact is brought to you by Google's new AI feature.
Wow.
Yeah, thanks, Google. We're getting slightly better.
Right? Not made from real islands. I'm disappointed.
Yeah, that's got to be false advertising. It's probably illegal in the EU. They have to call it something different. Not
That's no from New York / Canada. Is the
Oh man. Anyway, I think that we should begin tonight's episode. Curses and Cantrips. Our heroes continued their perilous mission to secure Captain Blackbeak's rise to power within the Captain's Congress. With the clock ticking, Hayden and Emmy ventured to the camp of the infamous Bloody Buccaneers to win over their leader, Duroc. One who was not easily persuaded, Duroc challenged Hayden to a fierce one-on-one duel to prove his worth. And amidst the cheers and jeers of the pirates surrounding, Hayden faced off against this formidable orc captain. And despite sustaining heavy blows, Hayden's agility and determination eventually led him to victory. Acknowledging his defeat, Duroc agreed to cast his vote in the Captain's Congress in favor of Blackbeak. Meanwhile, Emmy tried her best to blend in with the pirate crowd, striking up awkward conversations and even placing bets on Hayden's success. Concerned for her friend's safety, she also used an animal messenger to summon Cooter for backup. And Cooter received the message and navigated to the seedy underbelly of the cove, and finally arriving just in time as the duel concluded. After a much needed short rest at the Drunken Mermaid, the party regrouped to tackle their next objective, bribing Captain Thorn of the Ironclad. Learning that he frequented an exclusive gambling den called the Hidden Ledger, they made their way there. Gaining entry after paying a hefty fee, they spotted Thorn celebrating a winning streak at the card table. Approaching him with a chest full of gold to settle his debts, they proposed that he support Blackbeak in the upcoming vote, where Thorn revealed another party had already made a more enticing offer. Sensing the urgency of the situation, the group leaned into subtle intimidation, hinting at the potential consequences of refusing Blackbeak's proposition. Reluctantly, Thorn agreed to the terms, but insisted on taking the group's cat, which was actually Emmy's wild-shaped form. After gaining possession of the group's cat, which he immediately named Lettuce, the Captain Thorn returned to his gambling, now accompanied by his feline companion. So with 2 more votes secured, the crew inched closer to fulfilling Blackbeak's demands. And that is where we'll begin.
I have a question.
Our episode this evening. Yes.
Am I still Lettuce at this point, or can we say I have abandoned him?
I am very certain that at some points throughout the evening, you wild shaped back into yourself, and
But I would have left like before it happened.
Sure, let's say that you all are at a mutual meeting place that you have all agreed upon to meet for this evening, as you all finish the card game, and we can start there. So you all are out in your meeting place at Black Rend Cove, the Pirate Isle, where you now have 2 out of 3 tasks completed. And I think for probably the easiest place is you all have rooms at the bloody or the Drunken Mermaid, so that's where you all are.
Oh, glad to see everyone back in one piece.
Oh, we knew Emmy would make it out. 2 out of 5 isn't bad.
We did
So
it.
far, so good.
I'm gonna be
Well,
sore
thank
for
you.
at least a week.
I thought he might kill you. I'm gonna be honest.
You really think that little of me, Emmy?
No, he just seemed really mean.
Yeah, I don't think
And
he
he
was
seemed
such...
like he might cheat.
Oh, no. I don't think he was smart enough to cheat.
Oh. I did get some money though. So good job.
Very good.
Gambling is fun, it turns out.
Wait, I thought you thought money was useless.
Yeah, but I found out you can play games with it called gambling.
She did quite well, actually.
I did very well. I made 30 gold. Is that a lot?
Fair enough. I guess in these parts it's a decent sum. Enough for you to get drunk off for, I don't know, maybe 15, 20 days?
Oh, I don't get drunk. Here, Cuter, you can have it. And then you can get drunk.
Oh, well.
I give you 30
I mean,
gold.
It did. I'll add it to my inventory. It did cover most of our entry to that club, so that was actually quite useful.
So we've 2 of 5
Hmm.
of our goals.
Yes.
I think
I actually acquired 3 official forms of inquiry from the docs. Taj, love, I was wondering how your forgery skills are.
They are very good. Do we need the document forged?
Yes, we need a verified wink writ for Captain Mira stealing our good, claiming it as her own. We can use
right.
that as blackmail.
I can do that.
Then we'll have 2 extras in case, who knows? Might come handy in the future.
I have a forgery kit, and part of my background,
Hell yeah.
I can.
Nice.
You have created a. Okay, I'm not going to tell you that part yet. Hold on. Blah 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 blah. Words. Those are secret words. I can do it. I can forge documents, including official papers and personal letters, as long as you've seen an example of the kind of document or handwriting you're trying to copy.
Mhm.
And I would know what that looks like since we're boat folk, not poke. I mean, we can poke on a boat, I
Boat pokers.
suppose.
Boat poke. You know what I'm saying?
we're about to be some boat pokers.
Wow.
That's exactly what we need.
Yeah. So normally you would have to make some kind of roll with a forgery kit, but with your feature, it just says you can forge documents, including official papers and personal letters, as long as you've seen an example of the document or the handwriting you're trying to copy. So what I'll say is, yeah, I mean, you've obviously seen something like this. Like you know, have been on the Cove for a while, and you've obviously seen what an official inquiry looks like from the harbor master. So yeah, you can just make it. Spend
Cool.
some time, spend a few hours in the evening, and you've got what appears to be an official inquiry into Captain Mira, alleging that she and her crew are claiming goods as their own when they're not. And if I remember correctly, Azraki, your goal was they claimed some of your goods, so you would be the what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. I'm not defendant,
Plaintiff?
but like yeah,
Plaintiff?
basically, yeah, the aggrieved party or whatever. The complainant. I don't know. That one. So yeah, you make it because this is your wheelhouse and you're good at that shit.
All right, excellent.
At this point, it is the evening since they had to wait until the gambling den spun up earlier. Just for you all's reference.
Oh, well. Are we planning for tomorrow's plans, or just shall we go to sleep?
I suppose we might as well prepare, but what was on the agenda for tomorrow? I guess Taj will work on these documents, so maybe that's the first thing.
And then we think about, right?
Eventually.
Oh, okay. That's right.
Y'all can do whatever you want. I am plenty prepared.
Intimidate Lyra. Discredit Captain Mira. That one's the tough one, but we've already laid some groundwork. That she's the one who basically snitched to the conservative order that killed Captain what's it call it? Okay.
Whom are you referring?
The captain whose ship we saw coming in that was sunk.
Ah, Captain Orion
Yes. All right.
of the Star Strider.
So we'll intimidate her by blackmail, or
Well, we need to at least place evidence. And making sure that she did work with the Conservancy.
righty. I guess we'll investigate that one after we handle Mira, right? Well, I know that Hayden definitely needs a bit of a rest, so
Please.
shall we turn in?
Aye, let's sleep.
Well, I pour out some shot glasses for rum for everybody, and I was like, do a first successful 2 jobs.
Cheers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at Emmy. We're going to bed anyways. You can't cause any trouble.
Okay. I mean, it's delicious.
Can't even feel it.
So, with drinks and sort of settling in for the evening, the most important part of which Captain Azric happened to leave out is that since you have completed 2 tasks, that is 2,000 gold knocked off of what you owe Captain Blackbeak.
Hey.
Yeah.
So you can go ahead and mark that tally that you owe her. I believe it is 23,000 now. Is that 25? And just to clarify, 'cause I know there's some similarity in the names, but your remaining tasks, the sabotaging the ship, that has to be done Captain Haldrick's ship, and it has to look like an accident, so as you don't draw suspicion. With Captain Lyra, they are essentially just on the fence, and Blackbeak just basically suggested to intimidate this captain to get her to vote in the direction. And Captain Mira is the one that you all need to discredit because they are also a candidate in the running for the vote. So, however you choose your own adventure. But with that being said, you all can easily turn in for the evening. Taj, you finish your forged documents to help build your conspiracy against Captain Mira. And it is now the next day. You all have the benefit of a long rest. So you all get any HP, any spell slots remaining back. And of course you can choose your new spells for the day if that's your jam for your class. And it is now currently the 19th day of Septima. Thorn's Day, for those that are keeping track. And you have, I believe, 3 or 4 more days until the vote is set, which I believe is for the 23rd on Moon's Day.
Excellent.
It is a new day. You are at the Drunken Mermaid in your rooms. It is not near as busy and packed as it was in the evening, but there are still plenty of stragglers, people who are looking to get some hair of the dog or are just getting thrown out.
As one does.
So, I think we should continue doing the easy ones, and we should talk with Captain Lyra to make sure she knows where she needs to put her vote.
I agree.
Me too. Not that my opinion has any sway, but
How do we want to intimidate
Of
them?
course it does. You're the smartest one here.
oh, I try. I did accidentally intimidate someone yesterday, and that I think maybe threw me off a little bit. I'm
You
not
didn't.
used to that kind of power.
You
Yes.
didn't vomit on them, did you?
No.
Oh, thank God. Because killing is
I
not
know.
allowed on the island, so just... I want to
Oh,
make sure
it
that's
could
clear.
have gone awfully, but we got quite lucky, I think.
You wouldn't believe it, but Kuda can be quite the scoundrel if you put her up to it.
A little persuasive at times.
She had him
Believe it?
sweating.
That's good to know.
Not my forte, but I guess when it comes down to it, we can get some stuff done.
Well, Taj finished the forgery of the form of inquiry. We can use that to intimidate her and make her believe that she did in fact steal loot that belonged to us
Oh,
and claimed
wonderful.
it as her own.
Well, not wonderful for her, but wonderful for us. It looks really good. I would never think that this was forged.
Thank you. I am a woman of skill, and I like flip my hair.
I guess to make it more convincing, we need to figure out where they acquired the loot first. So maybe we can find some loose tongues of members of the crew.
Oh, yes. You mean so that we can prove as much as possible that our case is true. Mm-hmm. Well, I would feel bad hassling the barkeep again. I think yesterday he was quite busy and put out by our questioning.
Oh, it's a slow morning. People still getting thrown out. Should be easy enough.
What is his name again? I keep forgetting. I mean, I know these things. My brain is perfection.
What is his name? No, I'm kidding.
Let me check my notes. Which I don't think I actually put them in there for some reason.
I forgive you.
What episode was it?
It's Silas.
That's the one.
I get an inspiration, DM.
Yes. Yes, you do.
Hey.
Because you remembered an NPC's name that you've spoken to many, many times.
We're professionals.
That's the freebie for the evening.
Everyone knows pirates don't take down notes.
So yeah, I mean, Silas always seems to be there. Maybe it's because everyone that is working in the tavern is just constantly on shift, because literally every pirate in the patronage is on the island, so it's always busy. It's like working retail in holiday season. Just it's terrible. He looks exhausted. Like he hasn't slept at all, but he's sort of cleaning up some of the broken glass and things on the hardwood floor, and just kind of trying to do his best to clean up before people start trickling in again.
I think I'm gonna not the course. Maybe eavesdrop, and maybe someone talking about the recent loot they acquired or hauled in, specifically for Captain Lyra.
In here, most people that are in here, since it's early, are sort of passed out or just kind of shit-faced. But if you want to make a perception roll for me, you can see if there's some people here.
May I assist
Sure.
in my perceiving? Oh, never mind. I am perceiving the drunkenness.
16.
16. Okay. So you're sort of looking about. Most people are kind of curled up trying to sleep inside the bar, getting thrown out. Some people came in early, but you can kind of see there's one sort of older gentleman, appears to be human, middle-aged, kind of sun-kissed skin, with probably more wrinkles than you think they should have at that age. Not a good skincare treatment, it seems. Just kind of there in the back, just sort of spinning tales of just pirate, adventure that's heavily exaggerated. But you do catch a quick word of the Silver Serpent, which is Captain Lyra's ship.
Oh. I will grab a slop of morning soup or whatever and bring the old man a bowl. I'm sorry, did you say something about the Silver Serpent?
That I did. Best ship in the whole fucking cove.
Oh,
Is
are
that
you?
mine? And he grabs your soup and
Oh,
just...
yeah. Yes. Are you a fan of Captain Lyra, or are you actually a crewman?
I am in charge of all the gun crews.
Oh, yes, a very honorable position.
Dude, you're damn straight it is.
I heard you and the crew had a quite successful haul before you guys arrived to the island.
I mean, you'll have to be more specific, because all of our hauls are successful.
You're right. Well, the one that you claimed at the dock. So.
Hold on. If you want stories, you better bring ale.
Right. Silas, a pitcher, please.
And he just looks at you and is just like, holds his head up and just kind of puts the broom down and goes behind the counter. And Cooter, you hear it's almost imperceptible, but you just hear a For fuck's sake, under his breath as he's just exacerbated and exhausted. And you hear him just sort of yell, "That's right, ale for old man Dale."
Wait, who was chuffing, huffing and puffing and chuffing?
Silas, the proprietor.
Yeah, right. Okay, cool. That's what I thought.
And Silas comes back with just a pitcher and two sort of pewter cups. And before you get a chance to serve or be polite at all, he just grabs the handle of the big ass pitcher and just starts drinking like directly from it. Takes a big swig and just wipes off the froth of his scraggly looking beard. Now, what kind of story do you want?
A story of your most recent haul.
Oh, hold on. Let me remember my most recent haul. Oh! We caught a trading vessel coming out of Rosadon.
Oh, did you now?
Was the size of a galleon. And it had more guns than you could count on fingers and toes.
I'm assuming you have all your fingers.
Mostly. And we came out from behind a series of rocks and blindsided them. Now, let me tell you something. What was your name?
Hey, Adric.
Ashley. Let me tell you something. When you get your cannons in the side of old man Dale, you're gonna sink. We came up behind him, and he starts making hands like two ships kind of coming around rocks. We came around here to the backside where they couldn't see us. And we let me tell you, Aslick, we left a volley right into their sails. They were immediately incapacitated. Now, Captain Lyra hopped aboard and gave him a choice. They could hand over half of their cargo, or we'd sink the ship. Now, what we got, I never seen before. Widgets and who's its and what's its and little circle things with teeth.
You're talking about like mechanical bits and bobs.
Who's it and what's it? Catch up.
Right. Apologies, old man Dale.
Apology accepted. Now, those bastards at the harbor didn't want to give us fair value because they don't know what to do with who's its and what's its. But we squared it away. Quite the handsome sum.
That is quite the story. No prisoners, I take it? Everyone off their way?
No, they gave the cargo, so we left them alone by themselves. That's how it works. Piracy. Because if you start killing people, kidnapping people, then they won't hand over the goods so readily.
Thank you, Jeff, for quite a both story. It's quite enjoyable. Thank you.
Let me tell you something. And he sort of slaps you on the shoulder. If you want, Oslick, I can put a good word for you for the Silver Serpent. Now, you'd come in as a powder monkey under Old Man Dale. But under my tutelage, you could raise to the ranks.
I would very much love to meet Captain Lyra. As a matter of fact, is that something you can arrange?
I can put in a good word for you. I know that not Old Man Dale's fault. They might have got a shot or two in, but the ship's fine. It's just getting a little bit of repairs at the moment. Routine maintenance over by Reginald. But superficial damage. If you want, I can give you an introduction for 3 more ales.
3 more ales. Is he talking about a pitcher or a pint?
That's up to you.
You know what, how about 2 pitches?
Who's less than 3? No deal.
Pitcher is larger than pints. All right, 3 pints.
3 pints. Ah! I knew you'd come around.
Well, you're quite the bargainer, the Old Man Dale. You got me under the barrel.
And he just holds his hand up, 3 more! And it's just to the point where like Silas had cleaned up the bar and like went to go around and started sweeping up some of the broken glass and just all like this trash, and is about to like, you know, get the dustpan and sweep it in, and he's just like just like under his breath, and then goes and grabs 3 more and goes and puts them on the table. Now, if you just come back in, and he like looks to where like the sun is and it's the ceiling. Now, I'll take you to
Great. I'll be back on the hour.
Don't be late.
And we're meeting here.
Right here. And like puts his like finger just like in the middle of the table.
All right, I will be back here in 1 hour.
Salute you, and just starts drinking one of the ales.
A true gentleman, Old Man Dale.
He's forgotten about you at this point. But key takeaway, you already know where the captain is, so.
All right, we know where Captain is. I highly doubt this man will be conscious, and when we come back in an hour, so we can just leave without him.
We'll just go talk to her then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
Well,
an opportunity to see how our ship is faring.
oh yes, are they being repaired in the same place?
I mean, yes, in the area.
Wonderful.
Um,
We should check that they haven't screwed up our little farm as well. Just want to, you know, quality check, make sure.
Yeah,
everything-
that's a good point.
Do you have the contract by any chance that you have with for the cruise ship that we're supposedly making? Or we sold the plans to.
Which ones?
When we were at the Gilded Toll for what's that bastard's name?
For the symposium?
Yes.
Oh, let me
the same
check.
ship.
Isaac Sterling, the importer.
Yes,
Oh, yeah, I
yes.
forgot about him.
And Koo starts rifling around in her giant bag. It's like this paper and like this book of notes and this like I think it the the ship of the future.
Yes, that. Or if you have schematics for the self-propagating plant pot.
Oh yes, yes. That would I had made it an appendix just in case
Okay.
if
'Cause
that
if
was.
they stole, in Old Man Dale's words, "Who's it and what's it?" We can tie that into the schematics, and they have stolen our parts for our
My who's its and what's its. That's right.
exactly. So makes it more believable.
Yes. All right. Perfect. Yes, I have. I have this.
All right, then let us be on the way.
After you, Captain.
All right, we head to Reginald's shipyard.
Very well. So you begin the trek over to Reginald's shipyard, which is a little off of the harbor, but still on the coastline, so he can be prepared to work on ships. And while you are there, you see that there's a bit of a line. Waiting, and you notice that Kurzak is there among a few other people that you don't recognize. And you see at the front of the line appears to be a quite upset half elven woman wearing very fine sort of um, pirate clothes, I guess you could say. When I say pirate clothes, you know what I'm talking about.
I like that
Yes.
Corsair look.
Yes, very much so. And
I'm gonna snoop and eavesdrop.
um, and you just hear her sort of just shouting, "What do you mean there are no more slots for today? I have a ship that is needed to be repaired immediately." And Reginald just like, "Well, I just, you can see everyone behind you here is just, I'm quite busy." And she just says, "How much is it going to take, Reginald? I am tired of being extorted every time I come here." And then the arguing just sort of goes on and on.
Um, yeah, I walk up and I'm like, apologies, don't mean to interject. Reginald, old friend, how are you?
Oh, no. Your ship will be ready. Um, early next week. Only.
Oh, that's quite all right. I just want to. Is it all right if I just take a look how the progress is going so far? I won't be in your workers' ways or anything. I just
I,
want to take a look.
it's fine. It's fine. But I mean, it's your ship. Do whatever you want.
I turn back to the. I'm so sorry that you have to wait. I'm gonna do maybe a history or perception to see if I recognize her.
Sure. I mean, yeah. Go for it. Do a history.
12.
12. You could reasonably sort of guess, looking at the clientele here, is that most people appear to be like deckhands or maybe like bosuns, and this is the only person who seems captain worthy. So you could surmise it's probably Captain Lyra here.
Oh, so her ship isn't even in the docks yet.
Yeah, it is. She's trying to get it to be repaired, basically. And there's a line.
Oh, Captain Lyra.
I'm sorry. Yes, can I help you? I'm sort of a bit busy.
Oh, yes, I just met with your who was it? Weapons mass powder man, Dale, old man Dale. He told me to come see you.
First of all, I'd like to apologize. Dale is a buffoon.
That is clear. Yes.
And why did he send you to me?
Oh, well, we have so much to talk about, Captain Lyra. Would you like to accompany me to my ship?
Not particularly. I don't know you from Adam. What do you have business with me for? I'm trying to get my ship repaired, as you can see.
Well, a bit of how do I politely say this? The recent hole that you have claimed at the Harbor Masters is, maybe we should speak in private, not in front of people.
Make a persuasion, or I guess it'd be deception. You haven't deceived her yet, persuasion. You're just trying to get her to go to the side, basically.
Yeah. So which one? Deceive or perceive?
Persuade.
All right. 20.
Sorry. I was wavering a bit there. She's like, sorry, something. Are you from the Harbor Master? Fine, well, we have a ship. Wherever. Reginald, I'm coming back, and we're sorting this out. I'm sorry, I didn't even get your name.
Azric.
Azric, right. Lead the way, Azric. And is everyone else, are you all in tow? I'm assuming you all went to Reginald's?
Yeah.
All right, let's go, crew. And walk her to our ship.
Huh? And you can see that there are some people from Reginald's crew that are helping repair, and sort of just getting things done. It's looking pretty good, all things considered, as based on how bad it was. But it still needs some time, for sure. So you can go to the deck of your ship. Go ahead.
Welcome aboard to the Unfortunate.
The
It
unfortunate
doesn't always look this unfortunate.
certainly is living up to the name at the moment. What an odd name for a ship.
Right. Well, I explain this every time. That doesn't matter. The unfortunate thing is, now that we are away from ears, you claim some goods that don't belong to you.
I'm sorry, I don't know to which you're referring.
Let's take a walk to. We have a working, not working, but a prototype, as you can see. Q to show Captain Lyra what we're working on.
Oh, yes, of course. Yes, this way. And she kind of goes toward, I don't know where we've placed it. I think it was like near the back of the ship directions, man.
Yeah.
Bow, sternum.
The stern would
Good
be.
thing is, you only have to memorize one of those words, and as long as you're okay with going in any direction, no one else will ever know you don't know which is which.
It doesn't matter. It's somewhere on the ship.
I just
anyway.
pick one at random and hope it's the right one.
Yeah. Just say it with confidence. We are building a magnificent anti-scurvy development facility. You can see that it is works on the sea self-sufficiently. I'm not the best at public speaking. I'm sorry. But yes, and anyway, there requires bits and bobs. As you can see, there are bits, and you can also see bobs here. And those are some of the items that we believe to be missing from our shipment.
I'm sorry. You must be confused. I don't even understand what you're talking about here. You're building something great for you.
Right. So you have come across a trading vessel that has left from Rossadon. You have raided said vessel and acquired some loot. Loot that doesn't belong to you. It is my loot. Use it, or what's it, as some would say, mechanical bits. I have a writ here of inquiry from the Harbor Master saying that you have falsely deposited goods that don't belong to you.
What? And she just like snatches it and starts to read.
While that conversation's been going on, Emmy's been like nudging like people working on the ship and crew to like over here, because like don't we want people over here, right? So like Emmy's like, oh, I wonder what they're talking about over there, and like shoves chowder in that direction. She's like, huh, Azric seems really heated. Who's that lady? So our crew will then go off and like disseminate the gossip later, right?
Yeah. So she's looking and reading this and just looks more and more disgusted the more she's sort of going down the page. And she's looking, she goes, this is absolutely categorically incorrect. These were not your goods. We got them, well, we pirated them fair and square from outside the shores of Rosidon, of which you are not even on the ship. And as far as I know, no members of the patronage own a shipping company. So, I don't know what you're playing at here, Azric.
Well, I thought it would be very nice to actually have a conversation with you rather than report you to the officials. And I am a forgiving captain. Now, this form of inquiry can just disappear if you do something for me.
Her eyes narrow. I see. And what is it that I could do for you?
Well, as you can see, the island is bustling with pirates, trade, goods, news, gossip. And I hear that you not so sure who you want to vote for. I'm here to give you that little push in the right direction.
Go on.
Now, of course, as I mentioned, I can report you to the officials. You'll be in quite a bit of trouble, and your reputation will be ruined. Or you can place your vote for a candidate that I'm interested in.
And who would that be? Haldrick? Mira?
No, I would never dare vote for Mira. She's... Word on the island is that she ratted out Orion to the Conservancy. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. I'm talking about Blackbeak.
And she like looks around like, is anyone else hearing this shit? Kind of gesture. You want me to vote for Blackbeak? For the Captain's Congress?
Yes, it's quite simple.
Blackbeak, of whom has shown no interest in any of the comings and goings or politics on the island, who is also a raging, murderous monster.
All true in that regard. But she is someone who can unite us. I mean, the Conservancy is already attacking our kind. So close to home. Pirates are in chaos. There's no one else who can unite.
You've heard it's the Conservancy that's attacked Orion?
Yes. And Captain Mira is the one who ratted him out.
That cannot possibly be true. There's no way. Captain Mira is one of the most well-respected captains on this island. He should have been on the Congress years ago.
If she gets on the Congress this year, you might as well leave the gates wide open for the Conservancy.
Why do you really want me to vote for Blackbeak? I think, given the situation, a little bit of honesty could be due, since I'm doing this favor for you.
I am being honest, but what is one little vote going to matter? Of course, you would benefit as well if Captain Blackbeak becomes on the Congress. And she will guarantee to repay those who vote in her favor.
Repay how?
Oh, well, if you get on her good side, you may possibly go on to one of her raids.
Ah, empty promises. And she sort of just looks around to the rest of the officers. And you all are fine with this? This is the sort of dealings that happen on this unfortunate ship?
Captain, permission to speak.
May speak freely.
Azric's been honest to this point. Rumors have already started that the Conservancy has wormed its way into the pockets of certain individuals, especially those who hold influence on this island. Now, I don't know about you, but pickings have already been quite slim out there. There's a reason for that. They're closing in their nets. Now, as far as I've seen it, the only one who's been willing to stand up to this, or at least fight back, is that psychopath. I don't agree with everything she does, but I would rather live a little bit longer than I would otherwise with that little bit of security, knowing that maybe, perhaps, we can all fly under a certain banner, a united banner, much more than this chaotic rabble that we have right now.
Azric, make an intimidation with advantage.
All right. Use this big guy. Oh, hell yeah. Intimidation is a 22.
Alrighty. So she looks over you, mulls over Hayden's words. Listen, I'll vote how you're telling me to vote. I get that official inquiry in my hands. So it's never sees the light of day. That seems fair.
Here.
Mark my words. This is the beginning of the end of the patronage. And I hope that you can live with this. Because, well, either way, we're all fucked, aren't we?
And I am glad we have come to an agreement.
I expect that inquiry in my hands immediately after the vote.
And you'll have it.
I wish I could say it was a pleasure, but it most certainly was not.
Well, may the sea bless you.
Shakes her head and just turns around on her heels and leaves.
Oh, Captain.
What?
Be wary of Mira.
I can throw you all about as far as I could toss you. And as you can see by my stature, I have people for tossing, so I'm not quite strong in that regard, so go fuck yourself. And she leaves.
Right. That went well as expected. 3 down.
Oh, that was very intense.
Well done, Azric.
And you likewise, Hayden. And Taj for the.
I can't
beautiful
believe they
written-
stole stuff from our ship for real.
Oh, it's water under the bridge, Emmy.
I mean, it's like clear that you actually also convinced Emmy.
But Azric, what do you think that she meant by it is the end of the patronage? Is this maybe something bad we are doing by getting Black Beak elected?
We will have all the power of the island, basically. Giant armada to go to war with any country here in the Pinnacle Depths.
Aye.
I mean, if you have any reservations, any of you, you're welcome to speak. But we're on the right side of the war here. That is the winning side. to be specific.
I do not think you are wrong. I just wanted to know if you had any ideas what you were talking about and how all of this might negatively impact us.
Well, as she said, she hasn't really cared about politics or anything around this island, really. She's been doing her own thing, but now she was going to rise to power as already the most feared and nefarious pirate of these open seas.
She did make it sound like it might be harder to discredit Mira than we gave that credit for. She seems to have more influence in this, among this group than we thought.
Yeah, but we can make Taj can make Taj look like Mira, so that should go a long ways. We just have to get the real Mira not near anyone at the time.
But I wonder if people will think that she's just suddenly gone completely out of character. We'll have to make it look believable, you know?
At the very least, regardless of how much weight she puts to it, implanting that little seed of doubt is useful.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Especially among pirates. They're already a suspicious bunch.
So you're saying it'd be better for Taj to not be outright bad, but like give her one more reason to question. I mean, Esmir.
I think we do whatever we need to do in order to ensure that Mira's reputation or whatever is dashed into the dirt. And I believe there's no one here more capable of pulling that off than our lovely Taj.
It's true.
I would like to visit the wreckage to see if we could find any physical evidence than just word of mouth rumors.
It would certainly help.
We have that little what's it? Piece of the sails that has their logo on it, but
Yeah.
it's barely legible.
True.
What
We might need something more concrete.
What if we rely on Taj for her forgery again? Perhaps.
I can do whatever you need. What did you have in mind?
Perhaps we make a fake notebook that belongs to Mira with some scribblings in it about her dealings and then a piece of that conservancy banner. And Taj as Mira drops it somewhere where
Oh.
nosy sorts are sure to find it.
Something like that would definitely be more convincing.
We would definitely need some kind of paper journal, something that Taj, he needs to see how she writes to mimic it.
That is the hard part of that.
We could
And
steal
maybe
something.
some kind of seal or an emblem that indicates that this belongs to her.
Either Josh could go into her quarters invisible and look, or I could go and steal something as like a rat. Either or.
That works.
You can be invisible.
How many days do we have left?
You
3, I believe.
Yeah, so the 23rd is when the vote will be happening, and it is currently the 19th. I will say, forging a like notebook would be more, or like a journal would be more than like a one-night affair. It might take like a couple of days to believably create like entries or something like that. And then another point, you all did investigate that wreckage and found direct signs of sabotage.
We just didn't find like evidence that we have like tangible stuff we could use to show someone else, right? Like we saw it, we know it happened.
You saw, you know it happened. You could try and convince. There's nothing that pointed to the Conservancy at all, but it did point to a direct sabotage of their ship. So it wasn't an attack that sunk them. You all figured that out. Not like they got sunk by cannon fire or anything like that.
So if other people went and saw the wreckage, they'd know the truth as well, and then we could be like, yeah, obviously it's this.
Yeah, I
But-
mean, you could conceivably direct people and what to look for based on what you found.
Yeah. Time is not our friend currently.
I do have 2 more forms of inquiry. I don't know if that's of any use. But we can hand directly to the patronage, detailing the sabotage of Orion's ship. Whether if they believe it or not.
And there's been no word of any survivors, correct?
None.
Not that we know of, at least.
Very true.
Since we're short on time, should we like try multiple things and split up?
Ah, yes, split the party.
The old classic.
The old party trick, no.
Well, I was just thinking I'm not going to be any good at lying or convincing people, so I could go and spy as a cat or something. Maybe?
Well, we could put this and save it last and deal with.
And sink the ship.
Yes, we can do that. That may be more simpler to make it look like an accident
I
and
knew
by
it.
us gathering information, subterfuge, anything like that.
I wonder, is there a way that we could sabotage Holdrick's ship and make it look like Mira did it?
Whoa.
Is there
Well,
a way that maybe you could
Taj
disguise
looks like
yourself as
someone-
Mira to sabotage
Someone on her
Holdrick's ship?
crew. It
Or
doesn't even
someone
have
on
to
her
be
crew, yes.
Oh, if
Sorry, I'm feeling a
like-
little
What
the
I could do?
hiccups.
Yeah.
like old man
Well,
Dale.
like barking. It's strange.
I could pretend to be a survivor, and I can say that I saw that it was Mira and her ship.
Ooh.
And then we also drop the notebook. If you want to try
We don't
and
have time to forge the notebook, I don't think. Unless
I
we
was thinking
steal
to-
her actual notebook and all we have to do is add a single line in it. Is
Yes.
that more doable, DM?
what I was saying is that like forging the journal notebook isn't going to be like a 1-day thing, but you have multiple days.
Okay.
So I was
Okay.
just
So we
saying
do have the time. Sorry,
that
I
might
misunderstood.
occupy someone's time for more than just a
Oh.
night. So
But we could also kill two birds with one stone if we
Yeah.
if we intertwine Mira's crew with the sabotage of Holdrick's ship.
I like that idea the best. Yeah.
Mhm.
I know she
And then
said
we don't
made
have
it
to
look
forge
like an
anything.
accident, but I think she'd be quite impressed if we were able to pull something like this off.
Well, we already know one of Lyra's crew member, Old Man Dale.
Oh, it'd be really easy to get him like.
Well,
just
it's
locked in a
Mira
hotel
that we
room
need
drunk.
to
Already in charge of the
discredit,
powder.
correct?
That's
Right,
a
but
Lyra.
he's on her payroll, so.
you're confusing
Yeah,
Lyra and Mira.
different captain.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh shoot!
Right. Fuck.
Old Man Dave's with Lyra.
This is
Mira
so
Mira
confusing.
is the captain that Lyra sees as being. They seem to
Do
have a
we
good
know-
Are you-
relationship.
Anyone on her
So-
crew?
Is anyone familiar with Mira's ship? Do you see it anywhere here in the bay? Is it anywhere? Do I know it? I don't think I know it. Somebody might.
Josh might.
Do I?
Make a
Cheaper up
perception
here.
roll.
Okay.
If we
I would
observed,
assist, but I've never seen these ships in my
I will
life.
assist Taj since I'm proficient in perception.
if we observed some of her crew or what have you,
Thank you for the assist. 20.
could at least know what they look
Dirty.
like or what they sound like. Can make
Yeah,
impersonating
all we
them
have
easier.
to do is sink the ship, and as long as the last person seen by that ship that wasn't part of its crew is someone from Mira's crew, and then when we sink it, we could steal something from the ship and place it on Mira's ship, so it looks like definitely it had something to do with it.
So as you're looking out into like, and there's tons of shit, like every ship, but you do see the Sea's Vengeance, which is Captain Mira's ship. It is amongst a sea of ships. So her ship is
The only
here.
thing is, we can't be seen tampering with her ship. That's the tricky part.
We
No,
won't be
it would
seen.
be just to observe some of the crew.
Yeah, just enough for Taj to look like one of the crew members, learn their mannerisms, the way they speak, and that's all we need. And then it'll be like, we're on the ship, and then Taj will be like, Mira sends her regards, and then boom.
Yeah. And then we can attack the ship easily, but not like I could just turn into a giant octopus and attack the ship, or I could turn into something small and Taj could be invisible and other people could be so no one will see us. Right?
Sure, but also it needs to look like Mira's crew did it. So even as an octopus, you would just need to be careful that it looks
Yeah,
more like.
as soon
the
as I
crew
said
did
that,
it
I
than the
realized maybe that
octopus.
wasn't a good option.
It's still a wonderful way to
Unless
disguise
Mira's
yourself.
known for
perhaps.
having a giant pet octopus.
Well, we might be able to
Oh.
find that out.
Let's investigate the ship and her crew.
Yes, yes, yes.
Gonna do some recon work.
Alrighty. So how are you going to investigate the Sea's Vengeance? What's your plan?
I can turn folks invisible if we want to.
How many people can you turn invisible again?
Hold please.
I could twin.
I can twin it too.
So that'd be all of us, right?
And then Emmy, you'll be in the water.
Yeah, I'll just go in the water and be like a fish and just like scope things out.
If we can figure out which of the crew may be an officer, that would be
Actually, I'm gonna be a seagull because then, if I see someone who like, I'm like, yeah, you guys should follow that guy. It'll be easy for me to be like, caw, and then like, you know, or I could like, you know.
Are you saying you're going to scout out the ship as a bird first? What you're saying?
Well, no, at the same time, because you all can see me.
Right.
I'll be your eyes in the sky.
Oh, and you'll caw at the officer.
Or poop on him.
Sure, yes, whatever. Poop might work.
I don't
Poop
know.
is
I was trying to think of
easier.
what a seagull can do. That's all I can think of. That's what seagulls do best.
If we could actively see you actually poop on someone, then it's easier to know who you marked rather than you just cawing as a bird does.
So do both.
Sure, yeah.
Okay. I don't know.
So, just so I understand, everyone's going to be invisible except for Emmy, who will poop on the enemy.
No, I'm just gonna be a seagull and I'm scouting out from above and I'll caw like, hey, here's a guy you want, you know? We don't need to stoop to that level.
Like, I think my statement still stands, but okay.
Minus the pooping.
Gotcha. Okay. So,
Unless that's what chat wants. I don't know. I'll do it for them.
all right. So with that, you all can take a dinghy. There's plenty around to head towards the sea's vengeance for ship, and I believe that that is a fantastic place for us to take our break for the evening. So, those of you watching, go grab a snack, grab a beverage, stretch your appendages, and we will be back here in just a bit. BRB, everybody. And welcome back, everyone. Hopefully you had a splendid break and got some snacks. Where we left off, the crew were about to go do some reconnaissance on Captain Mira's ship for some of their future nefarious plans. So, you all can make your way in a dinghy over to the Silver Serpent. And it is a quite imposing vessel, definitely not the biggest ship in the harbor, but it seems that it's more built for speed and maneuverability. It's a dark wooden hull with silver accents, or it's the Sea's Vengeance is the ship you're going to. That is Mira's ship. I'm getting confused now. The sails are sort of an ominous black hue, and you can see a sort of red wave emblem adorned on a flag. Quite a few cannons, more than you all, unfortunately, as the ship is one size category larger. Like most of the ships here, they are sort of being maintained by a skeleton crew, as most people are on shore bartering, buying, drinking all their gold away. So, how do you approach? What do you do?
Well, first I'm gonna fly over and perch up on one of the masts or the rigging, and make sure that it the coast is clear for them to approach.
Okay. Yeah, there are just maybe a handful of people on the deck.
Okay.
They're sort of milling about, a couple keeping watch. You see appears to be like a early 20s, late teens, human gentleman, sort of just in gentleman's a very loose description here. Not gentlemanly at all, scrappy, I would say. Guy in the crow's nest, sort of just keeping a lookout, kind of bored. He's got a piece of wood and a knife. He's just whittling in the crow's nest.
Is he gonna see their like boat approaching?
Maybe, but I mean, there's boats all over the place here. Every known pirate is in dock, basically.
Arj, if you want to cast clairvoyance, then I will cast invisibility on you afterward. That's an option, or we just all go visibility and climb aboard.
We could all do it. If you, I mean, I could do clairvoyance, and then hold on, I gotta double check something.
Wait, if she does
What do you
clairvoyance,
need
do we
me to
even
do? Because
need to
you-
go on board?
I don't know if you're there. You're a bird.
Well, yeah, I just forgot she had clairvoyance.
You know, I'm not the most stealthy person. I don't want to ruin everything.
Well, what I could do is cast clairvoyance, and then if you want to make two people invisible, if you want to twin it, then I can cast message to you if I see something.
Yeah, that works.
I'll just be as quiet as possible.
Yeah, I'll invis you and Cuter. I'll just dip under the water if need be.
Do not invis me.
Oh no, okay.
Why don't you do Hayden?
Sure.
So if I do clairvoyance, then I can hang back and then cast message to you if I see something.
Okay. Alright, so Hayden and I will sneak onto the ship invisible. Cuter, he stay here and protect Taj. Taj will just do everyone's thing.
Okay, that sounds good. I will perceive any threats.
Okay.
I'm the lookout.
So Taj, where are you placing the sort of sensor for clairvoyance, and are you using sight or sound?
I was gonna ask the group before you said that, so can I do that?
Yes.
Yeah. I like look at Azric, and I just kind of like hold his like cheek, so his like hand, like his chin is in my hand. You know. How can I best help you? Do you want it inside the ship or around the ship? And do you want me to be able to hear, or do you want me to be able to see?
You're so lost in your eyes.
Mm.
Oh, I probably sight. So you know who you're gonna turn into.
Aye. maybe I don't know if we want to be in the underbelly or where we want to put it, but
Probably on the deck where everyone is, and
Hmm?
then maybe we can create a distraction when people run up deck, or hopefully Emmy, she won't be able to see us. She'll just call around, I guess.
I I just want to make sure that it is where people will be. So if you make a distraction so that people will be on deck, we can do that.
Let's do the deck with
Mm.
sight.
Question. What exactly are you and I doing on the ship?
Just getting a closer look. Maybe we can snag something if we see something interesting.
Right.
I mean, technically, I guess we don't need to be on the ship, and Taj can just clairvoyance with sight, and then once we find the target, well, no, then she can message me if it's the right person or not. That's right. We're trying to see who is the officer of anyone of renown, if anyone's left behind.
Well, I just wanted to confirm what my role was. So, I mean, technically it'd be 2 more pairs of eyes up there. Maybe we'll be able to see something Taj's spell can't. I don't know exactly how much you see with it, but if you wanted to board, I'm fine with it.
All right, yeah, we're not gonna do anything dangerous. We are just scouting who her crew members are, and then pick the best person for Taj to impersonate.
Aye. Sounds like a plan.
All right. I cast Invis on and twin it on Hayden and myself, and we slip into the water and move up to the ship.
Okay. So you have cast invisibility and you're making your way over to the ship. You're not being seen, so you can swim, without even being observed, and you make it over to the ship, and find a way to climb up the side, if you would like.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like the anchor rope or chain, or they have any
Yeah.
ladders.
Easy enough. You can sort of begin climbing up the side.
While they're climbing, I cast subtle spell clairvoyance
Okay.
on like the mast so I can
Yeah.
like kind of 360.
Yeah. So you can see the scraggly looking young guy in the crow's nest, with a seagull sort of circling above. You can see what appears to be an elderly turtle that's carrying up sort of a large pot, with some kind of boiling liquid in it. Looks like an old timer kind of shuffling on the deck. And you also see a halfling gentleman, who has shaggy brown hair, kind of has boyish features, but is definitely probably 30s or so. Is wearing sort of very nice clothing with like a cape that has like a very tall collar. And the cape is sort of designed like the night sky almost. And when you see the turtles which is approach them, they like furl their cape out in like a very like trying to be like ostentatious and fancy. And then you also see a water genasi woman who just sort of like just crosses her arms and just shakes her head at this little halfling guy. That's who you see on the deck currently. And for Hayden and Azric, you're sort of climbing up. And as you get towards the top, you just hear like a large, like flamboyant voice. Ah, fish! I am so hungry! Please bring this wonderful sustenance. And this turtle just sort of shuffling and just says, well, it's ready now if you would like it. I could get you a bowl if you want. Yes, of course. I would love a bowl. And then this person just unfurls their cape again. And you see the water genasi on deck as well, with sort of sea green skin and sort of like long flowing like aquamarine colored hair. And she just says, Marlin, shut up. Shut up. And he just looks over and he turns and makes like a huge gesture. You can't speak that way to the deck wizard of the ship. Bring me my soup, fish. And the old turtle just doesn't seem phased. It just shuffles and puts like this big pot onto the table, and then sort of gets some bowls out and sort of stops for a second and like trying to shout but really can't project. Soup's ready. And you see the genasi come up. You see the halfling has been identified as Marlin, the deck wizard. All sort of gather around. And Emmy in the crow's nest, and you can see this too, Tosh, because you have like your 360 camera view. You see some movement in the crow's nest, and you see this scraggly looking young guy look over. And he just, man, I want some soup. And just like kind of like kicks the side of the crow's nest, and turns around and he goes, Birdie, and just sees Emmy sort of circling. Birdie! Birdie! And is just like trying to busy himself with anything other than work. Just is like shouting out to a seagull.
He's just yelling at
me. Birdie!
Who is this guy?
It's the guy, the scraggly looking guy in the crow's nest on the ship.
Okay, so he doesn't. Okay, I ignore him.
Yeah, okay. And he just goes, man, I wanted Birdie. And just sort of looks around.
I take it back. I don't ignore him. I get close enough to where he thinks maybe he can get to me.
Okay, and he goes, Birdie! And like holds his hand out.
And I cock my head at him like, climb out here.
Birdie! And it's like I
I'm
can't
not
go
gonna
over
go
there,
close enough for him to
Birdie.
get me.
I'm supposed to stay here. And he's busying himself with this birdie.
He is distracted. You're welcome.
And Taj, as you're sort of panning your 360 view, you see Cooter's watchful eye over you while you were in full clairvoyance mode, which probably seems kind of weird to see yourself as you're looking. Hair's blowing magnificently in the sea breeze, of course.
I was like, she like does her makeup when there's like no mirror around. She's just like, 1 second.
So you can climb up on the deck for Azric and Hayden. You're invisible, and they're not really have any reason to be suspicious of anything. And basically, they have all just stopped for mealtime. And they've all sort of grabbed a bowl of this soup. And you hear the turtle who's been identified as Fish, what they call the turtle. He just takes a slurp. This is really good. I did a great job this time. What do you think? It's acceptable, Fish. You have certainly done better, but this will be enough for the evening. And you see the Genasi just slurps and just puts the bowl down and just shut up. Marlin, shut up. Stop it. I am tired of your bullshit, Marlin. You just don't understand what it takes to be someone as important as a deck wizard. Every waking moment that I am on this ship, I could potentially save us from certain demise. You should be thanking me and giving me your
I'm
soup.
gonna do it. I'm gonna poop on his fancy cloak.
All right.
I feel like the DM egged me on to do it.
So you do your seagull thing onto Marlin, and it just kind of on the super high collar protects it from getting on him, and he's like, "Oh, you beast!"
I call at him, and then fly fast away because he's a wizard.
What is your AC as a bird?
Oh
Yeah.
This is bad. It's probably like a 1. I don't know.
Take the dodge action.
I already used my action to poop. I had a surprise round on him.
Like a poop action.
What's a sneak attack with poop? Is that like
It's a free
88?
action if you're a bird, first off. We all know that. We all know that. I would like to dodge, please. I don't know if there are stats for a seagull, but there might be.
A raven has an armor class of 12.
That's what I was looking at. I was like, I think that's the closest that I can find.
Marlin rolled a 15 for his spell attack. And they are casting Firebolt
Oh, jeez.
at the bird. And they roll.
So you're not letting me use the dodge action, I take it?
No.
Okay. Damn it.
You already did your action.
I only have 1 hit point.
So they roll a 2 on their Firebolt. As you were flying over, and then Taj, you see the wizard sort of spin around and gesture at the sky, and Hayden and Azric, you hear him go, "Firebolt!" into the air, and you see this streaks across the sky.
And as all this is happening, I'd like to say that I want to switch my clairvoyance to sound so I can hear what's going on.
Yeah. So you hear things and him yelling, and then you switch it over right when he announces his spell.
She just hears that.
And Emmy, you will take 2 fire damage as your seagull form.
So if we're using the raven stats, I am no longer a raven.
Okay.
Can I bonus action turn back into a raven and hope no one notices?
Yes, we're kind of loosey-goosey having a turn, but not really. So
I know.
after you begin falling out of the sky, I believe. And sure, you could turn into
Even if
something else.
he sees me turn into Emmy, I'm just hoping no one else will,
as
so I'll
soon
turn
as-
back in.
As soon as I see the firebolt get hit, I'm gonna go up to the ship's bell and start ringing it to hopefully distract people's vision.
Sure.
Nice.
Yeah, so
Oh man, oh man.
he just boldly announces his attack, singes the seagull. I don't think you have anything to worry about, by the way, Emmy, because if I remember correctly in the rules that aren't the brand new rules, which we're not playing with, you don't turn back into your form until you go to 0 hit points total. So maybe
I have 1 hit point.
no. You stay as the animal until Emmy goes to 0.
No.
You sure about that?
I think that might be the new rules.
That's the new rules.
Is it?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
play druids. I know.
The
Okay.
new rules are
I so wish that
much
were the case
nicer.
right now.
Yeah.
I may like the
Ah.
new rules better now.
Then I got him
because of
backwards.
this
Yeah.
Moment. But if you'll let me, but I am Moon, so I could bonus action shapeshift again. So if you'll let me use my bonus action,
Yeah.
the only people that would
here's-
see it are the people who are literally watching.
Yeah. So here's what's gonna happen. Emmy, you're falling out of the sky. You can turn into whatever you want to turn into again. The bell starts ringing ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding on the ship. And everyone sort of turns at the bell, and then Marlin looks back up, which you've already changed into some other bird at this point. And then you hear the Genasi woman say, and sort of look up, "Sprout, what do you see?" And he just goes, "Huh?" And like stands up, and he looks. Boats! And she's like, "Where?" And he sort of
I
looks.
thought our crew was kind of special, but actually,
And let's see. Natural one. He looks and scans and then points at the next biggest ship that's next to him. There! And then she's like shakes her head. And then Marlin proclaims, "If there are intruders afoot, I shall vanquish them!" And starts looking like 360 and like pulls out like a wand out of like a belt holster and starts like spinning around, like looking for targets.
Yeah, I'm gonna slink back into the ocean. I'll probably.
Hayden, what are you doing?
I mean, I can't see Azric.
You can't see
Oh,
him.
So, my
You're both
question is,
invisible,
were
you
we
can't see each
climbing?
other.
Were we climbing up the same?
they were holding hands.
You can
duh.
buddy system if you want. I'm just
Yeah.
Okay. I assume he let me know that he was climbing back down somehow.
okay.
So I will follow.
I used the Fluff Brothers signature knock.
Okay.
Do I? Did you let Hayden know that this was a thing?
You just hear an unrhythmic knock. That's all.
Hayden's probably smart enough and perceptive enough to understand what's going on. So
Y'all been a
My
crew for a
favorite
minute.
episode.
You can have a secret knock, whatever. And Taj, as you're still audible, you hear all this shit going down. And did you hear Marlin going off? There's like footsteps on the deck. You hear some loud footsteps coming and a door opening from the ship. And you just hear this fucking Marlin like, "Point me in that general direction. Where are they?" It's just, and that keeps going all the way up until Azaric and Hayden are back on the dinghy. and you see the boat sort of just shift a bit. So what would you all like to do?
I'm gonna linger
I-
around while I'm still a bird. A distinctly different seagull this time, but I'm gonna wait. I want to see if he takes that. I'm like watching Marlin to see if he takes that robe off to like clean it. And the second he's not looking at it, I'm gonna try and like swoop down and swipe it. If that happens,
he's
so I'll stay
wearing-
around for a while.
He's wearing it.
I know. I'm saying I pooped on it in the hopes that he would take
Yeah.
it off. So I'm just gonna hang out and see if that happens. So I'll be
Gotcha.
here for a while.
Okay, so you all are on the boat. You see, I mean, I don't know. You don't see the seagull circling at this point. What does the rest of the group do?
Is she okay? I thought, what's going on?
Uh,
I thought Abby fell out of the sky.
Looked like she got to change back.
You didn't hear a splash, so
I'm still invisible, but I'm like, Emmy's a big girl. She knows what she's doing.
All right. Okay. Did you find someone, Taj?
I think so. They should do.
Yes, Marlin, the deck wizard, a very boisterous character.
Hard to miss, actually.
It sounds like a perfect target for this plan, actually.
Yes.
Hmm?
If there's anyone that can cause mischief, it would be a wizard. No offense. Ah,
It seems like he might be able to accidentally sink this ship if a bird pissed him off enough.
I think. Well, Emmy's a bird. She could fly back. So let's start rowing back.
All right. Successful scouting mission as you all begin rowing back. And I think your concentration will last like 10 minutes, Taj, of however long you want to watch or listen.
Yeah, I think I have enough information.
Okay.
So I'll pull it.
And after like 10 minutes of no activity, Emmy, everything starts to sort of calm down, and Marlin spins his wand in his hand like a drummer with a drumstick, and then puts it in his belt holster.
he has a belt holster for his wand.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And he takes off his cape and looks at it. He goes, "Miscreants, rats of the sky!" And he takes his other hand and goes, "Prestidigitation!"
Oh, right.
And it cleans it, and he puts it back on and sort of ties like the cape, and just goes about his business.
I'm still gonna watch for a little bit. Maybe he'll take a nap and I can untie it.
I mean, you can try whatever you want.
I'll just go back to the group. I just thought it'd be really good if we could leave the cape on the boat we're about to sink. That's okay.
Are we not sinking this boat? I thought we were getting information.
No, the other boat is the one we're sinking.
Yeah. Okay, because you were saying sinking boat, and I was like, wait, this is the wrong boat.
No, we need to frame this guy because this is right. Is it Mira or okay?
Mira
Lyra,
is
we have
the
to
one
frame
that we need to
Mira's
discredit.
crew.
So you're
Yeah.
done with
Yeah.
Captain Lyra unless you drag her back in for some reason. This is the Sea's Vengeance, which belongs to Captain Mira.
And we're hoping that if we frame her ship's wizard, deck wizard,
Yeah,
shit
for
wizard.
sinking Holdrick's ship.
if we frame him for sinking the other ship, then we can kill two birds with one
Yes.
firebolt.
Holdrick's ship is the one that needs to be destroyed.
Okay. Hi guys, I'm back. How did it go? Did you find a good target?
Yes. The one who
Yeah,
shot
I
fire
thought
at
so.
you.
Yeah, I pooped on him because he was really mean and annoying. I was gonna try and steal his cloak for you, but I couldn't do it.
Oh, I'm sure we can buy something that's a little similar, looks wizard-like.
But then he'll
Right.
have the one that's on him and be like, "That wasn't me."
He seems quite boisterous. I think it will be quite obvious it was him.
Yeah, it just looked like him. Should be
We
enough.
just
Oh,
need
you
the
mean
look.
buy one for the disguise? Yeah.
We just
Sorry.
need for the look. We don't
Oh,
need
yes, of course.
Gotcha. So if no one
leaving a
gets close,
cloak leaving a cloak on a burning ship doesn't seem like.
oh yeah,
evidence.
that might not have worked anyways. Okay, good point.
Oh, that was a brilliant idea. It could be a magic cloak. We could have had a new item.
Hey, what? Now I wish I'd stayed longer.
No.
Oh.
We've got what we needed, and now we need to plan for Captain Ulrich's ship and how we're going to make it look like
Well,
Marlin.
he used fire, so Taj could start yelling firebolt, and then I could use my mephits to. Were they mephits? I don't remember what they're called. I could use my little fire boys to set fire to the boat with my little fire boys.
Yeah, I have full confidence Taj is gonna pull off this Marlin character to be. It's if there were awards for acting, I don't know what we would call them. Maybe we'll call them like an Emmy and give it to
Oh,
Taj.
May I
Emmy
suggest
would award Taj for best acting.
an Emmy? But I'm an Emmy.
The award would be your face or a secret.
Oh. Okay. If I go below deck, I can sneak below deck as a rat and I can then set everything on fire and then just jump in the water in some way. That's really easy, but I need everyone to not be below deck. Can you get them above deck?
Well, if Taj disguises herself as this deck wizard and causes a fuss, a distraction, I don't, maybe he was sent to cut a deal with Holdrick's crew and becomes offended or something, and starts. He seems to be quite the slinger of firebolts, so I don't see why it wouldn't cause a little something. Maybe that would be quite the show.
So you want me to throw some firebolts at them, or?
I'll probably attack her if she starts throwing
Well,
fireballs.
yeah. So while you're throwing firebolts in your offended fury, and then in the meantime, Emmy sets off her trap below deck, it might be enough to sink the ship, while also making it look like it was a terrible accident of him overreacting. Oh no! Firebolt hit some gunpowder. Dear, oh dear.
You'll want to not be on the ship when the gunpowder below deck goes off, though. And we'll want to get everyone probably off the ship.
Do
Well,
I
yes,
have to even
absolutely.
be
He
on the
can
ship, or can I be?
turn his.
Oh, you could be near the ship. That's a good point.
Well, you can make an excuse to leave, and I don't want to make a deal with you anyway, and then turn around and pew 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 pew, boom.
Or maybe I am on a dinghy ship and trying to yell at them from there and don't actually go aboard.
Yes, whatever you think will work. I think it will be a marvelous distraction, though.
This Marlin
should-
character seems very prideful, so maybe we set up a false scene where Captain Ulrich has offended Captain Mira and
Yeah.
Marlin is there to defend her honor. And
Yeah.
Yes.
We should do it at night
Oh.
so that we know that he's asleep, and then that way he doesn't have an alibi.
whatever, I'm sure whatever Taj is gonna say is gonna be good. So. If you want to kidnap Marlin or make sure he's asleep or drunk or something, we could just send a care package of rum to the ship and say to Grand Deck Wizard Marlin a toast to your glory, and then hopefully he gets drunk.
That's actually a really good idea. People here love rum. They'll all just drink it right away.
Fine, that's what we'll do. Hopefully he gets drunk.
Okay, Captain, what's the plan one more time? Just to make sure I understand.
Either we'll have rum delivered to Captain Mira's ship for Marlin to celebrate his glory, whatever bullshit. You're gonna go into Uldric's ship, summon your little fire friends. Taj is gonna be Marlin, and say just like, I am Marlin of the Sea Vengeance of Captain Mira. You have you have offended her, and I'm here to reclaim her honor. And then pretend to blow shit up. And then when that's your cue to send your little fire friends to blow up the powder.
Right, but how does this discredit Mira?
I was going to raise that concern as well.
It doesn't really do anything for Mira. It does stuff for Marlin.
She could always throw him under the bus and say he acted on his own. What is a bus exactly?
Well, it puts her in a difficult position with her crew member, which is an officer, and we're not allowed to be blowing up or killing each other while we're here on the island. Or maybe it gets into some crazy island jurisdiction.
We could also just like do this and then see how it goes down, and we still have time to discredit her in more ways if this doesn't do it.
I thought
Right?
that's what we were doing, no? Were we
No,
not
we're sinking
trying
the
to
ship
get
and
some
blaming it on not
information
us.
when you guys were on the ship?
Oh, I thought we were just.
Sorry, continue.
I thought we were just looking for somebody to blame the sinking of the ship on.
Well,
Not
it's
really.
specifically,
Like an
hopefully, going
accident.
to be Mira to discredit her. That was the idea, but perhaps Taj is right. Maybe that won't be enough if there's a chance that she'll just blame it on him and go on her merry way. Although I find that will be really difficult for her to do if it is an officer of her ship.
I mean, at the end of the day, like if Azric went and, or sorry, if Taj went and blew up a ship, I feel like that would come down on Azric too, as the captain.
Wait, why would
Yeah.
that come on me?
No, like you're the captain, like you're like the dad, you know. So if like one of us gets in trouble, they're gonna be like, "Hey, your kids are in trouble."
What she's saying is the hierarchical structure is such that if one of her officers misbehaves, she would probably be.
It may not fully discredit her, but it might like a little bit discredit her. We've already laid the groundwork to discredit her in other ways, remember? Oh, that's actually a good
Oh.
idea.
What's your idea?
Well, we can also just pretend to be the people on her. Well, Taj can pretend to be the people on her crew, and also talk about like how they stole some goods from another crew. Now that we know what they look like, that'd be easy to do. Just go into a bar as Marlin and be like, "Yeah, we stole. I mean, borrowed. I mean, whatever." Fireball.
Okay. Hold on. Let's take a step back. All right. We're overcomplicating everything. So now we'll keep that information we have about Captain Mira and her crew. We can still use that as Taj can be Marlin and spreading how she sabotaged or how Marlin sabotaged Orion's ship. But we'll get to that later. Let's just focus on Ulrich's ship and just continue as the plan. You'll sneak on, blow up the powder, and then that will be that. Agreed?
That part's easy.
So I'm going to sneak on as Marlin and be ridiculous and we blow up that
Not
ship.
on the ship because I don't want you to die if it
Right,
blows up.
I'm on a dinghy.
Yeah, on dinghy.
No, we'll save Marlin when we discredit Mira. So it's
Okay.
actually going to be Emmy sneaking onto the ship alone and telling her fire friends to blow up the powder, and then that would be it.
Yeah, but the whole point was to get people like above deck so they don't see that happen or stop it. So I still need the distraction.
Well, we can be invisible again if we need to.
Because I can't, like, Marlin was the good distraction for why the fire started and that it was an accident.
I mean,
But
surely
would
if
it
she's on
was-
the deck to cause such the distraction, she'll have enough time to get off, right?
I think so. I can wait until, you know.
It takes time for fire to reach to set the powder alight. It's not that big of a deal. What makes you most comfortable, Taj?
Let's think. What things are sort of easy distractions for a pirate? Somebody challenging a fight? Perhaps someone being seductive? Like a mermaid or something? I'm just trying to find ways where we can cause a distraction, cause a number of people to go on top deck, while also making sure that our people are clear of danger.
We can. I mean, we can start a fire on the deck, and that will be distraction enough.
Could.
That's true. I mean, how important is it for this to look like an accident versus... Is that just so that we're not to blame as a crew? Or is that
That's just what she
actually
told
part
us.
of her stipulations?
She said to
Because that would change things.
Nothing can lead back to Blackbeak.
As Hayden said.
Which if
Yeah.
it is blamed on Captain Mira, wouldn't be linked back to Blackbeak, correct?
Well, no.
Let's forget about Mira for the minute. Let's focus on Aldrich. Everything we learned about Mira and Marlin, just ignore that. Put it in a cupboard and close it. Let's focus on this job.
Oh, that's fine. I just thought it was quite easy to put the two together. But if you want to
me
just do
too.
one and then the other, that's fine too.
I thought it worked really well.
That's all you had to say.
Yeah, if you guys want to just cause a distraction, then I can go in and set it on fire from below. I just need some time to make sure I can get off the ship before the fire boys.
Right.
Set things on fire.
My concern is that Taj is going to be on a dinghy on probably the second largest fucking ship in the entire world, with cannons.
Well, you don't have to do that part. I just need a distraction, so it could be any distraction.
Okay, distraction is easy enough. We
can be even invisible causing
Oh yes, that's very
distraction, no?
As long as it gets people above deck.
yes.
That's all I need.
all right.
done.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna rest so I can be like a rat or something. And okay. I don't understand the plan, but I understand my part of the plan, and that's all that matters.
That's all you need to know, Emmy.
Yeah.
We'll leave the distraction to us. While you rest, we'll think of something.
I'm surely an opportunity will present itself.
We can cut the rope to the mast. The mast falls down, and then there you go. Distraction.
Oh, that's all hands on deck right there.
Mm.
I like that.
All right, great. Now we just need to find where Captain Ulrich's ship is.
Aldrich.
Aldrich, sorry.
All right, you guys tell me what's going on. What? Who's doing what?
We're still convincing ourselves.
I was like, I'm not sure I know anymore. I thought
The
I
plan
knew.
to kill two birds with one stone is abandoned. We are simply sabotaging
one-
ship.
Bird with one stone.
Yes.
When they're
One
ready to
bird
go,
with
I'm gonna turn into a
One
rat
fireball.
and get on that ship.
I don't mean tell me your plan. I mean literally, you guys are in the boat rowing away from Mira's ship. What are you doing now? That's what I want to know.
Who does need a rest?
I'm taking a nap. Short rest.
So where are you all going?
We're going to Captain Haldrick's ship.
Mm-mm.
No?
No, we're taking a short rest.
Right, after the short rest.
You're asking after the short rest,
Yes.
Max?
You tell
He
me where
wants to
you're
know
going.
right now what we're doing so he can guide the scene.
Short rest, ship, blow shit up.
Thank
Profit.
you, Rack.
Consider yourself short rested.
So, you all go somewhere ashore to take a short rest. And you can do that pretty easily. It only takes an hour. So you will gain the benefits of a short rest. And then at this point, you can get back in the dinghy and try to find Captain Haldrick's ship, Taj, or Azric. You want to give me a history roll, since you would all probably know about Captain Haldrick's ship.
All right. 20. 30 style.
I was gonna roll, but now I'm not.
Go for it.
Okay.
Throw away that good
20 is good
juju.
for him.
Oh.
It's 9.
9. Okay. So for Taj, you've heard of Captain Haldrick's ship. It's one of the biggest out there. It's quite a formidable ship. It is known as the Steam Breather, is the name of it. Aside from that, you're a little foggy on the details. Azric, from what you've known of the Steam Breather, it is has at least 3 lower decks, has a poop deck, has a quarter deck, has 2 large masts, as well as a third in the aft. So 3 full masts on this ship, not including your smaller chase sails in the front. The only sort of other ship that would be relative to this would be Blackbeak's, the Banshee, which hers is the pinnacle, basically. Haldrick would be a second to that. It is known for, like most pirates have, sort of black dyed sails. And you kind of get the idea from what you've known of it is they do keep the ship staffed, you would assume, while in port, but no one will be dumb enough to do anything to that ship, right? Aside from that, you would know it when you see it, and pretty easily enough. If you all are looking for the Steam Breather, it's out in port, and you all can make your way to it if you so choose. And it has at least 12 to 15 guns, not including what would be on the top deck.
assuming there's multiple powder rooms, would one room be enough to disable a ship? For a
Can
ship
you-
that size?
I would like you to make a raw intelligence roll, and since you are proficient in water vehicles, you can add your
Yeah.
proficiency.
Add proficiency.
I have
if
a
this
quick
is-
question
One
that's
moment.
going to help this too.
Go for it.
Well, you answer his first, but I have a before
What-
you make a call.
What I was going to say is anyone, if this is a conversation amongst your group, then anyone can roll on this. So it's just straight intelligence. If you're proficient in water vehicles, you can add your proficiency bonus to.
Hayden is right.
All right.
Hayden, you're proficient
rolls
in
don't
water
count
vehicles,
today.
right?
One moment, let me get the rolls.
I got 17.
17. Did anyone else roll?
I got
What
it.
was the roll for again?
Well,
A 12. Roll d20, add your intelligence, and if you're proficient in vehicles water under tools, then you can add your proficiency bonus. So I think for Taj it would be d20 plus 3.
Yeah, we not doing anything. 9.
9. 12, 9, 12, 17, and then you had a question, Emmy.
Oh, well, I was just gonna tell Azric that I plan to summon 4 magma methods. So that's 4 different things, places that could be set on fire. And the really fun thing about magma methods, and my question for the DM is, if gunpowder explodes, would that do only fire damage, or would that do some force damage?
If you manage to create an explosion, it's going to do some force damage and some fire damage.
If the magma methods die, they turn into lava,
Sick.
which will melt through a ship. If they die.
So for your question, Azric, a ship of this size, probably would probably be one, but it would probably be guarded. Maybe behind a door or something along those lines, somewhere in the underbelly.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were asking if one explosion would be enough to do the
Oh,
ship.
that's what you were
if there
asking, is
was-
how many explosions will be enough, not how many places there were.
I don't know.
to
Maybe
hold
I
powder.
misunderstood.
Well, the answer was there's one. There would probably be one powder room.
Yes. Correct.
Will be guarded, so we'll have to lure the guard away so Emmy can slip in. Are you okay, Emmy?
Yeah, I was just thinking it'd be best if I could take some of the gunpowder to different parts of the ship.
That might complicate the plan.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, one location might be enough if it's enough powder.
yeah, I mean, if the magma men are going to set off the powder, they'll probably die from the explosion and then turn into lava.
And then just go straight down.
Right.
burn holes straight through that hull.
That would be
Is that enough to
devastating.
sink a ship?
I would say
I-
so.
Would say we don't necessarily have to sink the ship, just render it inoperable for an extended period of time.
Oh, okay, I might do that.
So would
Extensive
sabotage
repairs,
ship?
yes.
And I think blowing a giant hole in the ship would leave it useless for some time.
Okay, then I think we're good. I just gotta get in that room. If you can get me in that room or get the guard away from the room, I can get in there.
Right.
Sounds good. How do we do that?
We'll have to. We'll use invisibility again. Sneak down to the belly of the ship. Distract the guard through whatever means. Either like a. Do I know? Trying to think back of my spell capabilities. I don't have it. Just lure him away somehow. I don't know. I can turn into a seductive version of myself. And be like, yoo-hoo, and lure him around the corner. I don't know.
Please do that one.
Can you do that one more time, please?
Well, now I'm
For me, Azric, please.
now I'm embarrassed. I'm red as a tomato. Another time.
And I like boop him on his nose.
Better yet, please erase it from your memory. Can't have you guys thinking back about me. All right, we'll just be invisible. We'll cause a bunch of noise. It will lure him away. Emmy will sneak in.
Okay.
Hard to know. It's hard to make a plan without actually being there to see what.
Yeah. Once they're on the ship, you gotta get off, okay?
Okay.
Make a signal, make a loud noise so I know you're off, and then I'll tell them to start setting things on fire, and then I will run and jump off too. Okay. Okay. Let's go.
Right.
Okay. So you all begin rowing towards one of the largest ships that's currently held in the harbor of Blackrind Cove. You approach this multi-deck ship, and you see that the sort of front of the ship has the ornament of what appears to be a dragon's head, and on the sort of the sails you can see the emblem of a dragon breathing not fire, it looks like smoke of some sort on the mast. And as you're sort of approaching in your dinghy, are you gonna just park the dinghy? Like, what's the plan? You're just gonna roll up or what?
Yeah, we'll park it and swim under.
No one's watching us, are they? Because this is exactly what we'd want to avoid.
We can hide cover from another ship and then submerge ourselves in the water.
Okay.
If we have time, I can also give us disguises.
I can invis two of us one more time.
I can invis two people as well.
I'm gonna be a rat and climb in one of their pockets so that I can essentially swim faster than a rat can. So there's just a rat and it's an invisible jet, which is a human with a pocket, I guess. I don't know. I think it's fine. No one's gonna notice. Not while you're swimming.
Like Wonder Rat.
Yeah, Wonder Rat. I read that one.
How far is the ship next closest to?
I mean, this place is pretty packed, but there's a healthy amount of space between ships, just so they're not on top of each other and to avoid any sort of incidents. Because as the ship's under anchor, it's going to drift some, right? So I would say that there is at least there's at least like 75 feet, 100 feet between ships, because you've got masts and all sorts of shit that don't want to get tangled up within each other. So that's my rough guess.
Yeah, that's enough distance to swim over. If we hide behind another ship with the dinghy and then approach via under the water. We'll climb
Sounds
up.
good.
And we will sneak through a porthole and hopefully we can squeeze in somewhere.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. As soon as they get over and start climbing up the side, I'm gonna use my little rat skills to flee onto the sinking ship.
Okay, so you all are approaching. There's probably 75 to 100 feet between ships. Are you leaving your dinghy next to another ship and then everyone's swimming? I kind of need to understand who's doing what and where you all are going.
Yes.
Yeah, the
We're
dinghy is.
we're leaving the dinghy behind the other ship.
Yeah,
okay.
and we're swimming.
Okay.
But we're
I
all
am-
invisible first, right?
I'm gonna first
Yeah.
disguise hold on.
I'm erect.
Never mind. I will still be medium sized. Never mind. Yeah. 'Cause I'm already short and thin. Yeah. I will twin invis myself and Hooter.
Okay.
And then I'll twin invis myself and Aiden.
Okay.
And if we're not in combat, how
You're not
long
currently.
is an in-game minute?
Not very long.
Okay. I
Not
just
like
like
a literal minute. So
okay. Yeah, I know it's like 10 rounds if it's in combat, and so I was
Yeah,
thinking
yeah.
greater invis or regular invis. So
yeah. So
I'll reg invis this.
Gotcha. Yeah. That would definitely be preferable, just because comparatively, combat, like when we do it, is slow for us, but it's made to be all seamless like a battle. But anything
Sure.
outside of combat, you'd be invisible for like the very first part of your swim, and then it would be done, kind of situation.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Emmy, whose pocket are you gonna be in?
Hayden's.
Okay.
Just
He has
we
the
need to
cloak, so he
hold
has
her
to-
breath while we swim.
Swim speed.
Mm-hmm.
How long can a rat hold its breath for?
So I picked you because you have the improved swim speed, right?
With my cloak on, yes, I have
Yeah.
something. 60 feet. It'll be fine.
Alrighty. So swimming, I'll just call it 100 feet. Who doesn't have a swim speed?
Hooter and Taj.
Where?
I don't
yeah.
think where would that be?
It would be.
You probably don't have one.
It says walking speed.
It would be near that if you had one. I think. Yeah, if you click where it says walking speed, you'll see you're swimming underneath it.
Oh, it just says walking.
Same.
Then
Okay.
yeah, you don't have one.
Yeah.
Emmy does not have one, but she's being carried.
Emmy does
Currently-
have one technically, but
Not as a rat, she doesn't.
no.
And also, while we're doing this, thank you, Amaro, for gifting 10 subs to the channel.
Tomorrow.
Thank you, Amaro.
Snap, 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 snap.
Wow.
Thank you. Thank you.
I just like looked over at chat like, what is going on?
So Hayden has a swim speed. Azric has a swim speed. Cooter does not. Taj does not. So essentially you're dashing to go 30 feet. It's going to take you not very long at all. So there's no risk of you like running out of breath anyway. While you're swimming, you can all effectively hold your breath long enough to go underneath the water and make it to the ship, other than probably Emmy, who's a rat. But I think even then you get a minimum of a minute, which is not going to take that long. So you all can make your way. You are invisible, and as you're approaching this ship, as you sort of, I'm assuming you scoped it out on the way there. If you did, I would like some perception rolls.
Ooh,
And if you
yeah.
didn't, then that's okay. then I don't want them.
Always scoping.
Perception is a 20.
13.
25.
15.
Okay.
Theirs was higher.
What's yours?
Perception?
Yeah.
10.
Okay. So Hayden, with your 10, you can notice the ship. You do notice that there are some lights on, some lanterns. So obviously, there's some people that are awake. Taj, as you're getting closer, you notice that there are lanterns on multiple floors. For Cooter, you're able to spot there is one sort of figure pacing in one of the crow's nests. And for Azric and Emmy, you notice that there are two people in different crow's nests each with a wide view of the ship. So they are at least 30 feet above the deck of how tall these crow's nests are. And you all notice everything else, sort of everyone else saw too. Multiple lights on in the ship, lanterns, the deck is lit, and some of the decks below are also lit.
Okay.
And you make your way to the side of the ship. And I'll say, so as you come up, the ports to all of the cannons are closed currently. The ship appears to be sort of locked up for the evening. You can see that there is a balcony to the back that leads into some sort of room. The door's closed, so you can't get a good look of what it is. And no one's currently on the balcony at the moment. But it looks as though, based on what you see now, the only way to go is up on the top deck, unless you were to try and force one of the ports open, which may or may not be possible. You'd have to go and investigate that to determine more.
How, I don't... It sucks being a turtle that can't water breathe.
You're more of the tortoise side than...
Yeah,
than
despite speaking Aquan.
Yeah.
How long would it take to investigate one? Like, would...
About 6 seconds.
I'll do it. I'll investigate one.
Sure.
The figure is we probably don't want to investigate one that's like close to that though.
What's that?
I wouldn't want to be investigating and then like I've got like PTSD from like Final Fantasy VIII on the train. Like I'm investigating the porthole and the guy walks past.
Well, they're all closed, so at this point you're just investigating, can we open these?
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
we can.
That's 14.
14. So you're sort of looking at, there's no clear mechanism on the outside. You sort of try to pull one of these open, and it appears that there's some sort of mechanism that's holding these closed from the inside to keep this sort of thing from happening. There might be a way to sort of defeat this. Either you or Hayden would probably be the expert on that portion of it. But as far as getting these open, it might take some prying, which, depending on how subtle you are at doing this, could or could not create some noise. So, possibility, the pros are you could get in from not the deck of the ship. The con being you might create some noise and be alerted, people alerted to your presence. And also, Alan, thank you so much for raiding our channel as they're preparing their infiltration.
I will pull out my crowbar and kind of hold it up like, because I can't talk, you see, because I'm underwater.
We can't see it because we're invisible.
Oh, but you can see a floating crowbar, no?
Everything you're holding is also invisible.
So Peter's just like, and everyone's just like,
It's funny.
What
Peter
is
doesn't see
happening?
anybody either. So
Maybe, wait, oh, we can't even, can I feel anyone around me?
I'm assuming you
Maybe
use the
I'll-
buddy system to get over here. Otherwise, you
Yeah,
guys would have
I'll
no
put-
fucking clue where you all are.
I'll try to
Yeah.
reach out to someone with the, and like put their hand on the crowbar, like tap, tap.
What are you doing?
To be clear,
just do it, Cooter. Don't ask permission.
Yeah, agreed.
All right, she goes through it, but I don't have. I'm not very strong, you see, so I don't know how. That's why I'm
We
trying
can-
to get.
Put them on the surface.
so
Invisible.
in order to do this, you do have to go back up because these are the gun ports that is above the water line. So this sort of, from where you're guessing, if there is the main deck, and then the deck below that is where the gun ports are, and then there's at least one or two more decks below that, one of which might be completely underwater, or two. So this is above the water
Okay,
line.
so
to
the
do
ones
this.
that, we're after, which is probably why it wouldn't. Oh, okay, so we're above the water. Hello, is anyone here?
Yes.
Hello?
Okay.
Oh, there you are. All right.
Squeakers, squeaking.
So we may be able to pry these open with a crowbar, but it would make a bit of noise. However, if we went a deck down underwater, maybe it won't make so much noise, but it might be a bit more difficult to pry open. But either way, we might make some noise in there.
There's no port that would be submerged in water.
Oh, is that what you meant? Okay, well, anyway, here we are. It might make noise. Do you want me to try it? I'm not very strong, though. Are you stronger than me?
I doubt it.
Are you saying I have a +1 in fluff over you?
You're the new fluffer.
You are by far much stronger than me. But Hayden, on the other hand, is quite sneaky.
I am.
Sneaky and strong. Do you have a crowbar? You could borrow mine.
Thank you. But I have one. I actually do have one.
Oh, wonderful, because I'm worried I'll smack you in the eyeball if I try to pass it over right now.
Yeah, just hold on to that and I
Might need it to smack someone else in the eyeball in 5 minutes.
have my own as a part of my adventuring gear. So
Yes, me too. It always comes in handy, a good crowbar. You never know when you'll need something.
oh sure.
I would like to point out this could also be an opportunity to use thieves' tools instead of a crowbar, if you'd like.
Yeah.
You might need a little bit of help. Maybe Cooter can pry it open enough for you to get some tools in there, but it's going to be difficult.
Is this how we want to do it?
It's easier than going through top deck.
Okay.
Like,
Oh,
I have thieves' tools, I'm just not great at them, so it's probably better that you do that part if we are going to do this.
yes, I will handle that part.
Okay.
I will need some assistance, probably. So,
Well, Kuta can assist.
and she's
Yep.
proficient. Okay. Well,
All right. Ready?
everyone,
Hold your spells just in case we cause a kerfuffle here. What are we rolling?
So this is going to be, and you're both are going to roll independently on this because Cooter, you
Okay.
have to help him to hold this thing open
Yep,
for him
yep.
to even try this. So,
Yep.
For Hayden, you're going to roll a d20 plus dexterity plus your proficiency for thieves tools for this.
So
And
plus 8.
yeah, that's, you tell me.
Yeah, plus 8. So,
And then Cooter, I would like you to roll an athletics for me.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
I got a 19.
Okay. Cooter.
Great. I got a 3.
Okay. So Hayden, you are looking in there and Cooter is holding this sort of cannon porthole open, wide enough for you to sort of get in there and work. And you understand the mechanism here. It's basically sort of a latching mechanism into like an eye hole that hooks into the port and that's anchored to the wall, so it can't just be, pulled open, basically. So it has anchor points wherever the port would go up to hold it into place. And you think that you can get to it, so you go in there and you're able to flip sort of one of these connectors off of the eyelet on one. And you are slowly lowering it so it doesn't make any noise. And Cooter, you're holding on to this, and you feel a little fatigued because it's latched closed. You're basically forcing this cable to expand where it shouldn't.
I'm just a little old turtle.
Well, you lean into it, and instead of the cable giving more give on this porthole, the sort of wood on the actual doorway starts to give, and as you're sort of holding this for Hayden, a corner of it snaps the wood, which will cause your crowbar to off of it. And Hayden, is just as you're lowering this, this door closes from about here to here, so it leaves a nice little noise. And then your thieves' tools are pried in, and you can sort of yank them out to retrieve them, so that you don't lose your thieves' tools. But as about the time you yank your thieves' tools out, you hear a of pieces of metal hitting the deck from the failed attempt. So as you're trying to lower the mechanism for locking, it just basically fell when the whole thing snapped back shut.
Oh, I don't know why you'll let me do anything. Oh no, I've done it again. Oh no.
Relax. So that didn't work.
And you all take a moment and sit, and then you hear just footsteps going towards where the noise had happened. And I think with that is a great place to end the session for the evening.
Fun.
And you all will figure out what happens
Every
next week.
episode, we actually start
When
getting
we
to do
roll
something.
initiative, yeah.
We spend the whole episode being idiots.
Mhm.
And then
Oh,
finally
no.
something happens.
Anyway, thanks everybody for watching the episode. If you did not know, at the end of the episode, I'm going to put a poll in our Twitch chat, and you can vote on who the MVP of the session was, and whoever gets the most votes will have an inspiration they can
Voting for
use
Tudor for being
next
the
session.
MVP of my
Don't vote
heart.
for me. Don't vote for
And
me.
that will be
Please.
live right now. But anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. Hopefully you enjoyed the session. Thanks you all for the follows and for the raids. We very much appreciate them. We were in super serious D&D mode. They were scheming. But make sure to tune in next week to figure out what happens as they infiltrate basically a ship the size of a galleon. So it's going to be exciting. Will they get found out? Who knows?
You know what part of the problem might be? You keep saying the ship the size of a galleon. It just occurs to me. I don't think any of us know. Okay, at least 3 of us don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means.
Just remember
Gallion's
BFS.
huge.
Big fucking ship.
Yeah.
Got it.
We're
Yeah.
talking
Roger.
I
We're talking
compared
like-
it to Blackbeak's ship, which
Dude.
is
That doesn't
Ship.
help me either.
So
Just
That
Imagine-
helps
real
me.
big.
I've never even seen a ship.
imagine how tall like 3 floors would be.
Huh?
Sort of like that. In some spots.
That doesn't help
Like-
me.
100
Like
to
not
150
Titanic,
feet
but
long.
like
No, not Titanic.
half
Okay.
Titanic.
Okay. Ooh, does anybody have cast iceberg? That would have been a good
oh
idea.
God. Yeah, taller than our house.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah.
Normally our plans are very well thought. This was not.
This
I will say that was a valiant effort, and I applaud the ingenuity. It just didn't work out this time, and that's okay because that's where all the fun comes
true.
in.
That's true. With one roll, that could have gone smoothly.
But anyway,
we just need to
um,
need a new dice. Still.
make sure if you are listening, go to subscribe to us over on youtube.com/@castles and cantrips to get all of our VOD related content. You could also be a patron on our Patreon for Castles and Cantrips to get early access to all the fun things. And then, of course, make sure to join us in Discord, discord.gg/castles and cantrips, and let us know how you would have infiltrated the ship. What were your ideas that you might have had? And with
Sweet.
that, Cooter, you are the MVP of the session. Please take an inspiration that you can use for next time.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Maybe too little too late, but you know what? Hey, you've got it for next time. So
Just in case. I mean, like, if anyone needs it, it's probably me to get us through whatever's going to happen. So,
yeah. But anyway, thanks everyone for watching. We will see you all next time, and then make sure to tune in Monday for Tome of Knowledge while they go through the rest of the player's handbook. Do you guys know what the next topic is of discussion?
Monk?
Monk it is.
Or let us know in Discord. Let us know in the
Let us know.
comments.
Now,
Yeah.
monk.
Yeah, let us know in Discord what you want them to talk about. What's your favorite of the classes in D&D that you want them to talk about based on the new rules? So anyway, have a fantastic evening, and we will see you all next time. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye, nerds.
Bye.